Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Planner Wedding Magazine's podcast. Did you say something? I'm your host, Tamisha Kinlaw Carter, certified wedding planner and confidence pusher. Recently, I launched the Planner Wedding Magazine, which makes me a brand new editor-in-chief. This podcast, like the magazine, is designed with the modern soon-to-be weds in mind. Here, we'll have real conversations about love, engagements, planning tips, wedding tips, lifestyle tips, and so much more. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Planner Wedding Magazine's podcast. Did you say something? Thank you for joining me for this week's episode. I am so excited that you're here. Today, we're going to be talking about having a wedding dream. You should have a wedding dream. And if you don't have one, let's dive in to talk about why you should. If you're like me, either first thing in the morning or late in the evening, I have my favorite beverage of choice. And because I'm recording in the evening, I have my favorite glass of red wine, which is the Cabernet Sauvignon. And I hope you're going to enjoy this episode. So grab your favorite beverage and let's go ahead and dive in. At this point, the engagement news should have settled in, and it's time for you to begin thinking about your wedding dreams. If you're like most of us, you've at least visualized your wedding day at some point in your life. For me, it began as I was a young child playing with my Barbie. And please don't tell me that I'm the only one. My imagination would run rampant about how my future husband and I would get married and live happily ever after. There are so many different ways to personalize your wedding. You're officially a twosome now, and it's important to communicate and work together on planning the perfect wedding. Gone are the days of the bride-to-be and her mother making all the decisions. It's not often that a groom-to-be admits of dreaming of his wedding day. As a child, remember, his opinion does matter. Teamwork. It's your job to work together. After all, you are a team. Patiently consider each other's feelings and communicate honestly. Start with an idea and build around it. Here's one of the first questions that you need to ask. Number 1, what is our vision for our nuptials? Secondly, jot down a list of qualities you admired about your wedding, other weddings that you've attended. And ask the question, what qualities do you want to include in your wedding? Using descriptive words will help you get the ball rolling. I hope this helps you begin the first steps towards planning your special wedding day. As always, I'd like to leave you with a quote that I hope will inspire you to help you continue on this journey called life. And the quote reads, "I love you not only for what you are, but for what I am when I'm with you." And that quote is by Roy Croft. Again, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the podcast, Did You Say Something? I'm your host, Tamisha Kinlaw Carter, and I hope that you enjoy this thing called life. Until next time. This week's episode is brought to you by FMTY Weddings and Events, committed to excellence. During your wedding planning journey, there will be times where you question so many aspects of your planning. Focus on the process and trust that the outcome will be rewarding. You will come out on the other side smiling and dancing the night away. Again, thank you for listening to the podcast, Did You Say Something? Sponsored by the Planner Wedding Magazine. Make sure you follow us on all of our social media outlets, Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We would love to see you there. Make sure you subscribe to this podcast because without you, we have no listeners. So please make sure that you do those things for us, and we greatly appreciate it. Last but not least, go over and head to our website at theplanawedmagazine.com. There you'll find information on how you can submit your love story, your wedding story, engagement story to our publication. And if you are a wedding vendor and you would like to advertise with us, you can head on over there as well. And you don't have to be a wedding vendor to advertise with us. If you have a business that you think will assist our couples, not just for their wedding day, but for their wedding journey, that's a great place to start. And also, make sure if you are a wedding designer, planner, photographer, and you want to share your stories with us as far as photographs from previous events, head on over to the Planner Wed magazine as well. You can submit your style shoot there. Again, I'm Tamisha Kinlaw Carter, and thanks again for joining us for this week's episode of the Planner Wed magazine. Did you say something? Have an amazing day.